Hello viewers, it's SuperTT here once again, and these guys are just morphing through everyone here. As we leave the line in another NASCAR race, well, kind of, or go into the back of that guy, and get rammed from behind. Now this is a really weird thing. I think there's something wrong with these rolling starts, because it happened to me when I was doing that Top Gear challenge. You leave the line after the countdown, and then the car kind of just revs up really highly for no reason, even though you're not pressing the throttle. But anyway, it only messed me up in the end. The two guys who I passed there on the line weren't even playing, so I only fucked myself up. So no worries there. So we go through turn number 1 and get the run on the guy in 12th into the second turn, and I'm going to run myself wide out of fear of getting rammed. I do that quite a lot. Going into turns, I just have that phobia of getting rammed. Ramophobia, we're going to call it. I just have that fear that they are going to go into the side of me, so I forget my braking point and go wide, and tragically I've lost the position back to him, so I'm back down in 12th now. First place has already gone round the next turn, going into the turn after that one. A long way away already, and it shows you how big the field spread can be when you get involved in an accident at the start of the race. The guy in first is just long gone before you get anywhere. These two guys have had it coming together, and I've gone through 2 positions there. Thank you very much. And we move to lap number 2. Not a very eventful rest of that lap. People just off the track. These two guys having a bit of a ding-dong battle as we come through turn 1 into turn 2. Looking up the inside ever so slightly, but then not really the best place to go for a big lunge. So wait for a later opportunity. And we come down the second straight here, trying to maximise the slipstream. Someone asked in a previous video, is the slipstream update only for those with a NASCAR expansion? No, it's for everyone. The update is basically for everyone, not just the NASCAR people. Those two guys make a bit of contact. It looked like that was, well, some people will say that's my fault, but I was just fair enough on the inside. He hit me first, then went into the other guy, and then he just rammed me off completely into that turn. I had my braking point pretty much nailed on there. I think I was going for the apex, and he just went into me. Going through past this guy, a little bit of contact on the way past, but we have both survived that. In 7th position now, we're running the alternative layout here. So after the carousel, we have the cut through. So moving ahead to lap number 3 now, as we do come around the carousel now into the cut through here. Quite a weird little version for this track. These two guys have had a massive coming together, rammed him into the wall. Not sure what he said to him or did to him. Probably nothing, as is the way in Forza. You don't really have to do much for someone to ram into you. But those two guys have had it coming together. Another one, and I've gained 2 positions out of it. As I go into the top 5 now, coming into the last sector of the lap, braking about 400 metres before the corner, or 400 feet. This guy's come lunging out of nowhere and has actually pulled off a really solid move. I saw that arrow coming, and I thought, oh god, here we go, he's going to go for a ram. But he actually pulled off a pretty decent move, but then he ruins it all by driving himself wide at the next turn. So not very good or consistent driving from him. Pulls off a banzai, amazing lunge of the century, and then just wrecks himself next turn. So we're going to move to lap number 6. This is of course the endurance hopper. So the races are a little longer. We've already done 12 minutes and we aren't even halfway through the race. So come up the inside of 3rd, get on the brakes nicely here. A little bit late if anything, just edging wide, but I don't think that was too bad. I think that was just about acceptable. And coming through the carousel, I do wonder though, coming into the next turn, we do have a big braking zone here. And it's always my fear that if I have annoyed someone ever so slightly like he did there, perhaps, that he's just going to go flying into the back of me, and thankfully he hasn't. So I'm guessing that he saw that move as okay. And we come through that cut through there intact. We haven't been totally wrecked. So lap number 7 here, we've got a back marker there. Ghosting out just in the nick of time before I go flying into him. And second place here has had a bit of an accident some way through the first turn, losing himself a lot of time. So we can maximise the slipstream down this straight. I do have a good setup for the straights on this car, it seems, although actually is pretty much evening out now. Braking on the 500 board there, or the 5 board, the first one, hitting the apex nicely in second gear as we come through. We've gone around the outside into second position, So let's see what we can do from here. Hitting the apex? No, we're not. We're about 2 miles away. But we get through the corner just about okay. Still keeping our lead. And coming through this one, very hard to take flat out in a car of this power. Not quite got the handling capability through there. Or the talent, I guess. So coming into this one, get a little bit tapped. Going to go wide there. Now this is something discussed in my previous video actually about bump and run. It's not really something we're too familiar with in Europe. I guess it does happen in touring cars. Like BTCC, you get a lot of contact like that. Now I guess if that's the way it works in NASCAR, then that's the way it works. If you're allowed to do that, then you're allowed to do that. So there's nothing wrong with it. So for me, being the way I am, that's to me like dirty. But you know, if that's what is accepted in NASCAR, then you have to get on with the race. But I'm not gonna go into the back of him and retaliate. We're gonna have a good race here, and it's actually good to have a good battle, even if there is a bit of contact involved. It doesn't faze me too much. So coming through the last 2 corners here, it's actually a very nice battle. It looks like first place has gone by quite a distance, so we're probably not going to catch up with him. So you have to try and be realistic here. We have a good battle on for second. Now we could pit maneuver me here if he was a nasty guy, and he could still pit maneuver me right here, perfect position. But I guess this guy's quite cool, and he's not going to do that. So coming into turn 1, he's got a bit of extra speed coming in there. I got on the brakes nicely though, into 3rd gear, hit the apex perfectly, and I've maintained the position there in 2nd. Going into the 2nd turn here, get a bit of a poor exit from the 1st turn, put me on the back foot into this one, but get a decent turn through there. Although on the exit, going across the grass, losing me a couple of miles per hour as we come down the 2nd straight. I can still see his marker arrow behind me. He is still there, very close. As we hit that braking point there, go down into 2nd gear, a little bit too wide from the apex, but not too bad. Coming into the uphill corner here. This one's really tricky to get right. You sort of have to turn in and brake at the same time. I go a little bit too wide there, as I have been doing throughout the race. And he gets back past me into 2nd. I'm back down into 3rd. 4th and 5th aren't too far behind, so we can't be too complacent here. We have to keep up our pace throughout the rest of this race. Otherwise, we will lose further positions. So ahead to lap number 8. Now this guy is just, well, I don't know how to describe this. It's really weird what happens to this guy up this straight. So let's see. So we come up the final turn, go up the hill, as you do on Road America. He pulls over to the right hand side. There's a back marker there, and then all of a sudden, some witchcraft and wizardry makes him collapse off the track in spectacular fashion. Now here's my theory. There's a back marker here. Now I said in a previous video that they are gaining intelligence, and it's my theory that this guy has gained so much intelligence that he can actually ram people off using his mind powers, using telekinetic forces. He's actually made that guy crash. It's a very dangerous state of Forza we're getting into now, where these rammers are getting incredibly intelligent now, and they can just ram you off without even touching you. They can just sit at the side of the track and just ram you off, just like that. So very dangerous times indeed for Forza, even more dangerous than normal, which is normally very dangerous. But this race kind of died out after that. We come across the line here in 2nd place. Only 9 people finished in the end, and we finished 2nd. But that is going to be the end of another video from me. I hope you have enjoyed it, guys. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of the same. Always hit me up with suggestions, especially for the stock car challenge. I'll be doing more of those. So for those of you who don't know, I drive a stock car in Forza in the online lobbies. No tuning allowed. See what I can do. But that is all from me today. Hit that like button as well if you did like this video. Sub for more, and I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.